Okay, so my main idea today is just to take a bunch of stuff to make my brain work quicker and see how fucking smart I can get. Kind of came to the realization about something. That's that I mumble a fucking lot. I've been trying to figure out exactly why that was. I started researching the Philly accent. It turns out that some of the problems that I have with my patois, so to speak, are because I was raised near fucking Philadelphia. I literally grew up 20 minutes away from Center City. I still don't have the foggiest fucking idea how to do that fucking accent. Where you going, Leonard?
First of all, I'm gonna need more stimulants.
Hey, yous, chill out. No barking. What you barking at? You're very cute, but no barking. It is truly a beautiful day out here in Sherman Oaks. So I took a quick shower, gonna grab a bite, get down to the gym, do some benching. You know, if you want to go down to your Dorney Park and get on them water slides, you're gonna have to have a beach body, some garbanzos. At this point, I'd like to give a shout out to Catie Turner. I worked with her on her song Prom Queen. She's almost got 5 million views. Funny story about Catie. When I first met her, we determined pretty quickly that we're both from the same region of Pennsylvania. I said to her, I was like, you don't have an accent. And she said, you don't have an accent either. And that was all fine and dandy until the moment that she asked for a glass of water. And I said, what did you say? And she said, can I have a glass of water? And I said, did you say water? And all of a sudden, all of it came flooding back. Hoagies, Tasty Cakes, Lehigh University. So yeah, I've been boning up on my Philadelphia accent. Forgive me in advance. 'Smash a quick handful of nootropics. Of course, the fish oil. Yeah, it's such a great idea, you know, because my vlog is so comprehensible and simple and straightforward as it is. So something that I've been really wanting to try to experiment with is the idea of making a automatic melody generator in the style of Louis the Child and Flume, to make something that will react automatically to what a track is doing in a drop that I've previously made. And you know, we still got to try to keep this thing simple or no one's going to understand it, least of all me. I think I'm actually going to do something that I'm going to call a shape sequencer. Shape as in the LFO shape, and then sequencer as in taking that LFO shape and modifying it for subsequent variations. 445-pound sumo deadlift PR. All I had going through my mind as I was doing that cardio was, Sean, we're going to pick up Joey from lacrosse practice. No, we can't stop at Friendly's. It's Arbor Day. We can stop at the Wawa and get your Jimmies for your Briars in the freezer. I can just tell that I have like not even four, probably like 6 hours of mental chaos ahead of me as I try to make sense of all this shit. I'm gonna need a nice piece of trash to write some of this stuff down on. It starts with a clock trigger, it goes to an LFO shape. The LFO shape goes out and is augmented by the increment / ratchet, and that goes to Ableton. So we're gonna try to put that together and yeah. So here's a snippet of the little song we're gonna be putting a drop to. I'm gonna put a drop over, like a melody over this part. Okay, we kind of figured out the ratchet in here. What happens is this DC, which is just constant voltage, goes into this mixer at a very low level. And then this, which is called an analog shift register. It's a simple memory. Trigger it, the input stores one here. Trigger it again, it stores the new input there and then moves the old input to the 2. Now what that means is that you can feed it back into this mixer that's getting this constant signal and increment. Now I have this running through Serum, so here's what it sounds like. The problem is gonna be that apparatus will need a reset where it goes back to kind of a base level, or it'll just keep rising. So I programmed in a basic reset function for this. If the step is reading from this first input, it'll increment. But if I hit this, it'll start to draw from this empty lane, go back to just the normal state. I mean, it doesn't sound like much yet, but essentially this is what I'm calling my like incremental modulation or my classical sequencing lane. If you can see here, this DC, this channel has a positive value. This channel has a negative value. You can see the little green and little red stripe there. It's choosing on this 8x1 switch, which of these mixers goes to this shift register. So if it goes out of this lane, it goes up one. If it goes out of this lane, it goes down one. And it gives it that kind of random walking. And occasionally, because this lane 2 is still empty, it'll reset to a middle pitch. So since this is still my vanity vlog where I'm hurting myself and shit, I might as well add some negative reinforcement. Found a whole thing of them. So I think I'll be doing a smaller one. You know, I threw up last time. It's like your jimmies on your fucking Breyer's ice cream, you know, throw a couple of them on there. Why not? So I found this green paste that I sprayed on this toast. And I feel like the key to this is just kind of a general nonchalance about, you know, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna just eat this thing. You know, here we go. We're just talking, just hang out. Yeah, I mean, something very wrong's happening on my face. Well, them ain't no jimmies I ever seen. No big deal. It's a burning hole in my face. Who gives a shit? Oh, I can't handle it. Okay, so I don't know if I can explain this now because it's fucking horribly complicated. Good. So first of all, up here in this corner, you have the clock generator. It's going through these set of clock dividers. Now, anytime you see one of these, that shape, it's the DC into the 8x1 switch. There's 1, 2, 3. They get the outputs of these clock dividers. If I turn this down, you'll see the red light in the middle of that 8x1 switch going up and down. So the thing that I changed where I was trying to increment the pitches either 1 up or 1 down or stay the same, I actually took out the way that the step CV was working and replaced it with this probability router. So these DCs go into this input. This incrementation that's happening here either is resetting, going up by an incremental pitch, or if it's 3, it's going down an incremental pitch. This LFO and sample and hold is essentially the shape in the shape sequencer that I'm talking about. It goes out of here into the 6-input mixer where it mixes with the results of this analog shift register. But this LFO, the reset is getting controlled by this clock dividing switch-in complex. Now the amount of notes that get triggered from this LFO is done via this LFO and sample and hold. You see it's the random noise output. It's being triggered by this extra clock divider that's running off of this clock divider constant complex. It goes out of this output and it controls which of these lanes, which are again just this, they're a summation of this clock dividing complex. Whichever lane is lit up, that trigger goes through the output and it triggers the amount of notes that you're gonna hear. Okay, what I think I'm gonna do is put the relevant sections next to each other so we can tweak and listen all in the same spot. So I need to just reorganize this patch a little bit. Okay, I moved it to make it a little bit clearer. This lane here is the, it's the switching between the incrementing. This switch here, this one in the center, controls how many pulses get through. So the lower it goes, the quicker the pulses. This switch controls when the LFO is reset. So let's hear it. Also, the thing that you're listening for is not the individual notes rising or falling, but the overall shape being pushed higher and lower. That's kind of the gist of what I mean by shape sequencer. We should be able to visualize a little bit better what's going on. Should be falling, it's on 3. Trending downwards. Should be rising on 1. Trending upwards. Falling. Rising. Falling again. Change this LFO shape. Okay, Okay, I think I'm gonna call that some kind of success. Has a lot of refining to do, but I think there's a lot of good progress made there. Oh, also, run it back to the credits if you want to hear the results of this patch in a higher fidelity. This has been the Noise Castle vlog number 4, shape sequencer. You know, share, like, comment, all of the above, do everything. Patch, send me patches, send me dumb patches, dumb patch ideas. Send me boxes of shit, not literal shit.